Welcome to the Guys Review, where we review media, products, and experiences. What's up, Huck? What you doing there, buddy? He's like, no, don't like.
I mean, I'm happy to see Huck, but the big question is why Trey isn't wearing a shirt.
And that's always.
I don't wear a shirt at home.
That is always the question.
The real question is why do I not have a beard? But you didn't ask that.
Oh, gee, we were so distracted by so much skin, I really hadn't had a chance to look at your face.
Yeah,
I mean, you have so much hair on your chest that I couldn't tell.
you're one to talk.
Yeah, seriously. We can talk to
I'm
Karen
also
and take
wearing
care
a
of that.
shirt. It's true, we can.
Anyways, my name is Steven. I'm one of your three co-hosts. Together with me today, we have Trey and Tucker. Say hello, fellas.
What's up?
Hello.
Are you just meaning to put your nipple in the shot to fuck with us?
Absolutely.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that's what was happening here. So this week we were going to be reviewing Saving Private Ryan. It is Veterans Day on Friday. So in honor of that, we are going to review what I believe is one of the greatest war movies ever made. And I think a lot of other people agree with me, Trey.
Well, I watched the wrong fucking movie. I was watching Saving Ryan's Privates.
No, it's Shaving Ryan's Privates.
Did Huck find that funny?
Yeah, he's excited.
Nice. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about our weeks. Trey, you want to go first since you don't have a shirt on? I don't know why that gives you the privilege of going first.
Yeah, my week was okay. Leaving out for the cruise this upcoming week.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going? Is this like the big family cruise?
No, like my boss is paying for it, so
What?
taking all the
Is
Taking her off.
Whitney going?
nope.
Oh, wow.
Home in the kitchen with your baby.
Yep.
Like she should be.
Yep.
Oh.
Barefoot and pregnant,
Barefoot and pregnant. Wait, is she pregnant again?
No.
maybe.
Try
Might be after tonight.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Can you get pregnant from anal?
I mean, we got Tucker here, so probably.
Yeah, I thought the anal was with his uncle though.
Oh, that's right. It was the other way around. Anyways, anything else to add to your week, bud?
No, I'm pretty good.
All right. Tucker, how was your week? Just kidding. No one cares. My week was pretty good.
Good deal. I hope you get COVID.
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you go.
Shit. Aside from replacing the dishwasher and getting my brown belt, not a whole lot happened.
Is that where you poop your pants when you're wrestling?
Hey, congrats on your brown belt. Good job, buddy.
Thanks, man. I got that yesterday.
When did you get the new
No,
dishwasher?
that is a defense. Pooping yourself while you're grappling is a defense because no one will want to try to submit you anymore.
That's fair. Have you ever had
So
anyone that you've arrested poop themselves?
Not in my car, but I have seen it happen before.
Ugh. Gross.
So when did you get the new dishwasher?
And what happened to Courtney?
Wednesday.
God damn it! I was about to say something along those lines.
No, we got it Wednesday. The old one was 12 years old, and yeah, the repair guy said he could fix it, but it wasn't worth fixing, so we bought a new one.
Who'd you use to repair?
Ron's Appliances.
Okay, yeah, I know Ron. He's a good guy.
Yeah, they came out there and said, "Look, we can fix it. It'll be $200, but you might as well buy a new one."
Is it the little Hispanic dude that came out?
I don't know.
Or was
Courtney's
it-
here. I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, cool. Anything else to add to your week?
I'm in second in the pick'ems.
Yeah, but you're still not in first, like I am.
Yeah, but I will be next week, so there's that.
How close? I hadn't even honestly looked today. How
So
close
which
is
I'm
week
it?
are y'all
I'm
going
like
to
5
sit out
points.
so I can catch up?
I'm sorry, you're an adult just like the rest of us. It's not our responsibility to make your picks.
I mean, you're down 5 points from me, but Chris is only down 5 points from you. So, I mean,
It's all right. I'm gonna jump you next week,
you must be drunk, sir.
and Trey's catching up, so he'll jump you after that.
Man, all our last 4 picks, Alabama, who's this? Whoever played Texas, Clemson, and Wake Forest, just all shit the bed on us.
That's all right. We all equally lost. The big thing was if Arkansas had beaten Liberty, I would have made a huge jump.
Yeah.
That's
What did
fair.
Oh yeah, you put him for 9.
Yeah.
I picked Liberty for 1.
I think I picked Liberty for like 5.
Well,
Yeah,
if
I
y'all
had
were so
faith.
smart, y'all should have
I
put
had
like
faith in
$100 bucks.
Auburn's future head coach.
Yeah, y'all should have put like $100 on it. They were like plus 480 on the money line.
Really?
Yeah, they were getting 14.5 points in the spread.
Damn. What did they beat them by?
Won by 2 because Arkansas missed
yeah,
two
yeah.
conversion.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, my week real fast was entertaining.
Nobody cares.
I bet you Trey does.
I'm
Trey.
sitting on the edge of my seat.
See, I told you.
You're a fucking liar.
So I went to Nashville this week. I had a business a conference over there. So we traveled over there Tuesday, and we stayed there Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and we went out both nights. And I went out with some coworkers from Kansas City, Missouri, and those people know how to fucking party. Jesus Christ. The second night we went out, though, I got to tell you about this place. We ended up in downtown Nashville in a little place called Printer's Alley, which my mom told me about after the fact. That it's been around for a long time. It's apparently pretty famous. They went back. My mom and my dad went there in like the 60s.
Is that where the swinger parties were?
I guess so. No, it was fishbowl parties at that point. And it had the term. Just had all the white rocks outside though. So as we walk outside. There's this dude riding a little tricycle with this box on the back, and we're like, what the fuck is that? And he's got this big sign that says, "Ask me about free joints." And it's like, this is Tennessee, man. This is not California. This is not North Carolina. Like, it's Tennessee. And I did find out later on that the Tennessee City has said that they will no longer enforce personal possession laws. So, I mean, guys,
I have a problem with that.
Why? Because it's still technically a law?
Well, because here's the thing. As law enforcement, and this is federal level down, we're not in the right or wrong business, regardless of how we feel about a particular law.
Yeah.
We are in the legal and illegal business. So if it is illegal, that law should be enforced. If you don't like the law, get with your city council, get with your state congressman or your state senators or federal level, whatever, and work on getting the fucking law changed. But until that law is changed, it is still illegal.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. That's part of the reason that I myself am not much of a pot smoker, because I'd rather just not deal with any hassle that would come with it. I can drink legally, and honestly prefer to.
Right.
So
yeah, I like beer anyway.
I mean, but you have to admit, I mean, you can't say weed is more harmful than beer.
So my counter to that is we have a definitive test.
I know the test
for roadside impairment.
I completely
We
agree
do
with
not
it.
have the same definitive test for roadside impairment for marijuana or THC.
And it's
we
gonna
have
have to be
subjective tests.
It's going to have to be an all or nothing. Like, if you're stoned at all, it's a DUI. It doesn't matter if you're just a little stoned or super fucking stoned. But anyways, okay. So these girls are talking to the guy, and he wants, he's got edibles and stuff. So one of the girls is like, hey, she bought some edibles. Another girl was
The
like,
girl that you work with.
yeah, they're all women. I was the only dude with them, by the way.
These are people that you work with.
Yes.
Do y'all get random drug tested?
No, I never got drug tested. They don't do random drug tests.
They need to start. It sounds
What's
like.
a good way not to lose employees?
I mean, So anyway, one of the girls bought some edibles. The other one was negotiating with her. She's like, these are 20. Would you do them for 15? He goes, do it for 17. I'll throw you in a free joint. And she was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So she bought the edibles and got the joint. And this girl just like immediately takes the joint, she knew what she was doing, And
Well, anyone who publicly buys weed knows what they're doing.
that's fair too. So anyways, this one of the women with us says, I've never smoked anything before. And we're like, what do you mean? She's like, I've never smoked weed. I've never smoked a cigarette, nothing. And we're like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. I said, I hadn't smoked weed in a couple of years, but fuck, I'll do it to teach you how to smoke some weed. So here we are in the middle of this.
So you got stoned.
I think it's stoned. I took like 3 hits. and not even big ones because I didn't want to choke and like make a fool of myself in front of my coworkers.
Well, didn't you just say a little stoned is equal to being totally stoned?
I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah,
I mean, that's what you said.
I was not
Your
driving.
words, sir.
I was not driving. We were just walking around, and we took Ubers everywhere.
So you were public intox.
Yeah, I'll give you that much. But I wasn't making an ass of myself either. I mean, I literally come on.
I don't believe that.
Number one, y'all both smoked weed, so you take 3 little hits. It's like, I mean, I don't even honestly forgot that we even did it. Like, it didn't affect me at all. Or
Why do you
probably,
assume I smoked weed?
huh?
Yeah.
Why do you
assume I smoked weed?
Because I figured you had. Because Tucker, I know you did.
I'm an officer of the law.
Not when you've been a cop in college, Trey.
I mean,
I'm an officer of the law.
I'm just curious as to why you assume that I have.
Because you told us.
Okay, fair point.
Same thing with you, Tucker. You just never said it on the podcast, I don't think. So, anyways, so that was fun. It was a good night. Got back, tired of shit. Fast forward to this weekend. My wife leaves. She goes down to Auburn for the weekend for Chris's daughter's birthday party. And I was honestly excited. I was like, oh, man, I get a weekend by myself. Like, I'm going to, do whatever I want to and, eat like Thai food, whatever. And then my neighbor comes over. Our neighbors come over Friday night. And he and I are sitting out there just chilling, talking. He's like, hey, I'm getting the night off tomorrow night too. Like I took care of the kids. His wife had surgery. He had to take care of the kids for like 2 weeks. He's like, I'm going to go out Saturday night with some buddies of mine. Do you want to come? I was like, fuck yes, that'd be awesome. That'd be so much fun. Well, I wake up Saturday and you can hear me. I've got a fever. I'm all stopped up and congested. I feel like shit. So I regretfully can't go. He texted me today that last night they went to a bar in Asheville that had a Grateful Dead tribute band, and he went with his 2 buddies that were tripping on shrooms.
Jesus.
And he said one of them is like an extreme introvert, and the other one is an extreme extrovert. And then they had an awesome fucking time. And I was just like, son of a bitch. I wanted to go so bad. That sounds like that'd be so much fun. I don't like the Grateful Dead, and I've never done shrooms. I think that sounds like an excellent experience, though.
It generally is.
Yeah. Tucker?
Yeah, but then you see dead people, or whatever it was that Trey said.
That's fair. I did see a dead person. I talked to the dead person.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's keep moving. Oh, Trey, I wanted to ask, since you weren't here last week, do you have a rating for Ghostbusters?
1 beer. It's a great movie.
Agreed. All right.
Damn, I'm pretty surprised by that, Trey.
Why?
Because your taste in movies is usually pretty bad.
Hmm? I mean, I'm usually pretty spot on. The ones that are good, I give good ratings to.
Steven, you want to settle this for us?
No, I'm good. I'm just going to let it slide.
What, his bullshit or my argumentative nature?
Yes, both. No, we still got to get Trey's ready for Ghostbusters. Tucker, did you ever listen to that Rob Zombie album, Hellbilly Deluxe?
No. Or I listened to part of it. I've heard it before, but it's been a long time. I'm not a huge Rob Zombie fan, so I mean, it was average for me.
Yeah, I'm not either.
He's got like 3 songs that I really, really like. One of them being Dragula.
Yeah, the ones that were actual songs.
I mean, it's an average album, 2.5, 3 beers.
All right. Trey, what about you? I guess that's the one where your phone died, isn't it?
Yes, it was. It was a 4 beer album.
Yeah, I went with 3 myself, so okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What did Chris give it?
Like 1.5. He likes it. Yeah, 1.5.
Like I said, I'm just not a huge Rob Zombie guy.
I'm not either. Like I said, I like Dragula, and mostly because it was on the Matrix soundtrack, and it was like a techno remix of it. It was really good. But other than that, yeah, the whole album pretty much sounds the same to me. All right, let's move into Saving Private Ryan. Oh, and just a quick thanks to, of course, all of our veterans that listen to us. I know that we've got some friends that are veterans that listen to us. Like I think Mitchell listens and Nick over in Germany. So thank y'all for your service. I know it's not Memorial Day, so try not to make it downbeat. But any other veterans that are living? What?
Quit pandering to them.
I could say thank you. I mean, they're out.
I mean, It's not really pandering.
I mean, Nick's,
It's only pandering if it gets more people to listen, and nobody listens to us anyway. So.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't think they actually do. They say they listen, but like, I don't know. I don't know why Nick wouldn't listen because he does nothing in Germany. He just sits around and drinks German beer. Like he's lazy as fuck. So
What's the problem with that? What is the problem with that?
Yeah, there's actually no downside. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that our tax money is funding his alcoholism.
There you go.
Saving Private Ryan, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring, and this is only what they gave me as top build: Tom Hanks, Edward Burns, Matt Damon, and Tom Sizemore. Those were the top 4 build guys. Released on July 24th, 1998. Budget of $70 million, which is $127.5 million today. Grossed $485 million, which is $883.1 million today. Ratings: IMDb gives it an 8.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 94%. Metacritic has it at 91%. Google users.
Trey, you want to go first? You want me to, bud?
88%.
God almighty.
Yeah.
You asshole.
Puts you in a tough spot.
It does. Fuck. 89.
93.
Oh.
I've come to know that the Google users, if they're going to take time to rate it, they seem to like it. It's not like they actually go out and give it honest ratings.
Well, wasn't it like what was it? I can't remember which one it was. Fuck, I don't know. Wasn't like what's his name? Toxic Avenger was pretty low, wasn't it?
No, it was surprisingly good, I think.
Oh, because of
that movie was not. That movie was shit.
But I'm saying Google users had it high because it's all fanboys.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Trey, I don't know if you've heard Marcus's list for Tucker, but it's gotten longer, so here you go.
Oh, sweet.
Here cometh thine shiny award, sire, my Lord Tucker, the wanker, second Earl of Wessex, Lord of the Furries, heir of Lord Baldy, the one-eyed snake wrestler, protector of freedom units, step sibling with funny feeling downstairs. I always like that one. Entertainer of uncles, jailer of innocents, spanker of innocent milkmaids and stable boys, the toxic wanker, Big Chief sitting donut, TP giver to the great cornholio, Edgar Allan Poe's shaved muse.
I like it.
Marcus got to go.
Try.
And he did.
I don't know if you can see it.
No, it keeps disappearing.
What's your background there?
Oh, is that your brown?
Yeah.
Oh, your brown belt?
Yep.
So how long? What's the next one after that?
Next one will be black belt, but that'll be like 3 or 4 years.
Nice.
Well, do y'all do the stripes and stuff for the brown belt?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Nice. All right. This film was nominated for 11 Academy Awards at the 71st annual ceremony, including Best Picture, Best Actor for Tom Hanks, and Best Original Screenplay. The film won 5, including Best Cinematography, Best Sound Effects, Best Film Editing, and Best Director for Steven Spielberg, his second win in that category. Now, this is interesting. I didn't know this. After the film lost the Best Picture award to, get this shit, Shakespeare in Love. This film lost Best Film to Shakespeare in Love. Many film pundits criticized the Academy's decision not to award the film with the Best Picture Oscar, and has continued to be considered one of the biggest snubs in the ceremony's history.
I can see that.
Has anyone ever seen Shakespeare in Love? Have you seen it?
I've seen parts of it.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces. I've never seen the whole thing.
I don't think I've ever seen any of it. Is it Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yes.
Yeah, I never saw that one. The film also won Golden Globes for Best Motion Picture, Drama, and Director, the BAFTA Award for Special Effects and Sound, Directors Guild of America, and a Grammy for the Best Film Soundtrack, the Producers Guild of America, Golden Laurel, and the Saturn Award for Best Action, Adventure, or Thriller Film. Saving Private Ryan comes in at number 71 on AFI's Top 100 Films of all time. Which, tidbit, number 1 is, Rosebud. Damn it. What's
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. Have you seen that one, Trey?
I have.
I saw it in high school. I hadn't seen it since then. I guess I should watch it again as an adult, see if I take anything else away from it.
Yeah, I watched it in a class on cinematography in college.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, first time you saw the movie, Trey?
Saving Private Ryan, the one and only time. Was about 8 years ago.
Besides when you rewatched it like this week.
No, didn't watch it this week. It's a 5-beer movie. I don't watch 5-beer movies.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Tucker.
I saw it shortly after it was released.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Trey, you said you only first saw it 8 years ago, which is like 10 years, more than 10 years after it came out.
Yep.
Why?
That's an era of history I just don't give any cares about.
What the actual fuck?
I mean, like, I don't care about, mid 20th century history. Doesn't blow my skirt up.
It's like the best history.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's your when you want to see a historical whatever movie, what era do you go to?
Medieval, Dark Ages.
Because you like fucking wizards.
I mean, wizards are real, but yes, I mean, here's the thing, though. With all this news about Kyrie Irving and stuff going on, Steven, would you like to go ahead and get in front of this and go ahead and denounce anti-Semitism?
It depends on what you're going to say. I mean, yes, I do not. I'm not for anti-Semitism.
It's awfully funny you picked a World War II movie at Veterans Day. Convenient.
I'm just saying, we've heard your stances off the air and stuff, and I just think that it's a very good idea.
No, sir, absolutely not. I'm with Tugboat Willie in the movie. Fuck Hitler. All right, so what are you talking about? What?
What do you mean?
You getting in front of something?
I mean, just go ahead and come out now and just denounce anti-Semitism publicly.
I think I've done that more than once because of you.
I mean, I feel like you probably need to do it again.
Okay. I thought you were saying there's like a story or something in the news that I should know about, or so I don't know.
Well, I mean, Kyrie Irving got in trouble. He got suspended and lost his advertisements because he shared a anti-Semitic documentary clip on Twitter.
Wait, who is? I don't know who that is.
He's a basketball player. He's the one that's a flat earther.
Oh, so he's dumb.
Well, he went to Duke for like a year.
Yeah,
that doesn't make you smart.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I mean, you sort of have to meet the requirements to get in.
Do you though?
Do you though?
You do.
Play basketball.
To get in, yes.
Wait, is he like the other? Is he like the Irving's the son of the other Irving? It's like a famous basketball player. Isn't there another Irving?
Yeah, Julius Irving.
Yeah,
Dr. J. No.
Yeah, that's not his son.
No.
Oh, okay. I kind of assumed.
No.
All right, Tucker. First time you saw the movie, bud.
Man, I saw this movie right after it hit video. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but it would have been right after home release. So I was.
Is that because this is so bad it went straight to DVD?
Yeah, $850 million is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or $880 million. God, it's such a terrible. It should have gone straight to the trash can, Trey.
But I remember watching it, and I remember my granddad would not watch this movie because he served in World War II, and he just flat refused to watch this movie ever.
Where did he serve?
He was in the Navy.
Okay. So he was in the Pacific.
And he was on a ship, and I don't remember which ship it was.
That's cool.
So
yeah, I don't have any.
Yeah, but he flat refused to watch this movie.
I don't blame him. He probably saw some shit. I saw this movie in theaters. I've unlike Trey, I've always been a huge World War II nut. I grew up. My dad would like at night he'd just come downstairs or whatever, and just that's what he'd do: sit in his recliner and watch like old History Channel documentaries on World War II. So as I got older, it's just kind of one of those things that like if there was nothing else on, that's what I'd go do. So I could always turn on the History Channel and find a World War II documentary. Of course, now you turn on the History Channel, they're talking about fucking aliens.
Right, crop circles and shit.
I know, right? But no, this is one of those movies that I love this fucking movie. But it's really emotional. And actually, this is the first time I've seen it, probably in about as long as Trey. And truthfully, the first time I've seen it as a dad, and it totally hit me in a different way. So, all right, here we go. All right, Naked Trey is back.
There he is. He's back.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Sorry, I was checking my fantasy football team.
All good. All right. An elderly veteran visits the Normandy cemetery with his family. At a specific grave he has overcome with emotion and begins to recall his time as a soldier. Flashback to the morning of June 6, 1944. The U.S. Army lands on Omaha Beach as part of the Normandy invasion. Captain John H. Miller leads his command, Company C, 2nd Ranger Battalion, in a breakout from the beach. The staff at the United States Department of War learns that James Francis Ryan of the 101st Airborne Division is missing and presumed to be the last survivor of 4 brothers who are all in the military. General George C. Marshall orders Ryan to be found and sent home so that his family will not lose all of its sons.
So, first little piece of trivia. Do you know where the 101st Airborne is trained?
Is it Columbus?
What army base? Yeah, it's Fort Benning.
Fort Benning in Columbus.
Yep, that's where they train the Rangers and that's where they train the Airborne.
Nice. I did not.
I
feel like
Secondly, when they're going in on that beach and you hear them talking about what was it, Dog Green Sector, Dog 1 exit? That's an actual place that those ships landed. That's an actual part of the D-Day invasion. And I looked at a map of it earlier. It showed some of the they had Dog White, Dog Green, Charlie. There was a bunch of different places these guys could have landed at, and Dog Green Sector was one of the worst places to land at Normandy.
It's called. I mean, Omaha Beach is known as Bloody Omaha.
Yeah,
because it was just so terrible. So how high, I don't really know. I don't understand ranks. So like, how high up is he as a captain in the Army? Like
he's just above a lieutenant. So you've got lieutenant first, lieutenant second, then you have a captain.
But is it normal for someone that high rank to be like in the middle of battle like that?
Not now. Well, and I guess it depends on what you're doing. Usually, you're not going to have your officers on the front line, but World War II, it was a little bit different because now only officers or warrant officers can fly, but you still have to have those guys up in the air doing overwatch or flying flight missions, helicopters, whatever. But
I want to get on one of those C-130s.
The Vomit Comets?
Yeah, with the big guns on the side.
Oh, spooky.
Yeah.
AC-130 gunship.
Yes. So that this D-Day invasion is one of the longest, obviously, bloody scenes in the whole movie. I mean, what was y'all's, Trey, if you can remember, what was your take on it?
I mean, I feel like it was good cinematography for trying to capture the enormity of like that battle.
Yeah.
And Trey's right, but it didn't focus on the whole battle. I mean, it really focused on
just Omaha Beach.
Like a 50-foot wide stretch of Omaha Beach. You have one company trying to get off of one of those landing crafts and make their approach up the beach and up to the pillboxes and the fortifications. I mean, you're talking about Omaha Beach is miles long.
Yeah.
And they were landing ships for several miles. I mean, hundreds of thousands of troops got off on those ships. Yeah. Thousands of troops got off. And you see in this little area of the beach, a couple hundred.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
DJ is still the largest land invasion in world history.
Yeah. But this movie, or this part of the movie, was supposed to be so visually accurate that like World War II veterans were leaving the theater.
Yeah. I read that, and that I read that some places they had like therapists outside just in case. The sea was red from blood. I mean, the one thing that always has stuck with me is when Miller gets on the beach and he kind of goes into that tunnel vision where you hear just like the white noise, there's like no sound. And he looks at a guy who's like standing there kind of going back and forth, like he's looking at something on the ground. He goes to reach for something, stops, and then he reaches down and picks up an arm, and that's when you really notice that he's missing a fucking arm.
Yeah, he's picking up his arm.
He's picking up his arm, and he just walks off.
Well, it's like the guy that gets they're approaching the cliffs to start their approach on the machine gun positions, and this kid takes a ricochet off his helmet, and he takes his
Takes his
helmet off,
off.
and just straight gets domed.
Yeah. That actually happened to a guy I know in Afghanistan or Iraq. I don't remember which one it was. When he came back home for he had like a 2-week leave, came back to the States, and so I went to see him, and we were sitting there chatting. I said, "Look, I know I'm not supposed to ask you this, but like, what's it like over there? What's some shit that's happened?" And he's like, "No, it's cool." He's like, "Yeah, I've been in a couple firefights, da 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 da." He's like, he goes, "The scariest thing that happened to me was I was in a firefight and the guy next to me, his head exploded." And I was like, "Jesus Christ, dude, what'd you do?" He's like, "Well, I kept shooting." I was like, "You didn't try to help him?" He's like, "No, there's nothing I could do for him." I was like, I don't want that to happen to me. And I was just like, fuck, that just that attitude of it is just like, boy.
It's interesting that you say it's the largest land invasion in history, but how many people landed there? I don't really know.
It's in the thousands. I don't remember.
Well, I say that because when you think about think about like pre-recorded history, the Greek invasion of Troy, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know how many people actually invaded there.
All right, well, I'll give you that much.
156,000 soldiers and 195,700 naval personnel were involved in the invasion of Normandy.
Yep.
All right. Fair enough.
That was on the Allied side. On the German side, there was over 50,350 soldiers. And let's see. Casualties from the Allies was 10,000 plus, 4,414 confirmed dead, and 185 M4 Sherman tanks. German soldiers 4,000 and 9,000 killed, wounded, missing, or captured.
It seemed like a lot of fucking dudes were died. How many died? How many casualties?
10,000 plus on the Allied side. 4,400 were confirmed, but they never recovered all the bodies because some of them were lost at sea.
Yeah, 10,000 plus out of 150.
56. And then on the German side, it was 4,000 and 9,000 killed, wounded, missing, or captured.
I do want to go to Normandy one day. That would be a
absolutely.
Yeah.
Those German, from what I've read and what I've seen pictures of, those German pillboxes and stuff are still there.
Oh yeah, they're still there. Yeah, they're still there. That'd be awesome. And so before we move on, the letter that General Marshall reads to those guys as to his reasoning why to go for Private Ryan, Abraham Lincoln's Bixby letter.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yep. So I'm glad you brought that up because I have a question. When did we as a society stop speaking like that? That is so powerful and eloquent.
Right? I know. Probably around the 70s. I mean, it was still, if you watch an old movie from like the 40s and the 50s, it might not be that floral, but it was still.
No, but I mean, you can go back and you can watch an old Bond movie from the 60s and they still know how to speak.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, but it's not going to be something you want on here.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's do that after the podcast.
I'll have to edit it out.
Let's do that. Yeah, I know where you're going. Let's do it after the podcast.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I can say it in very academic terms. It's probably at the time of integration where you introduced poor, uneducated people into society, whereas they were originally kept on the sidelines.
I don't know if I can keep that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
the honest answer to your question.
I'm aware, but honesty is not always the best policy when you're dealing with the general public.
I mean, I'm just telling you.
You
already knew. You asked a question.
I like asking questions where I already know the answer.
Are you marking this, Steven? Marking the time?
I can't see what time it is. That's the problem.
Let's see if I can. I mean, you sent the link. It's probably 35 5 minutes in,
We'll
40
see.
minutes in. All right.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
Let's keep going.
Okay. Miller is ordered to lead a detachment finding Ryan. As they arrive in the contested town of Neuville, that's not how you say it, is it?
Neville, I think.
As an
Or
American,
Newville.
I'm going to call it Neuville. As a French person, it was probably like Nouvelle. Between German offenders and
Actually, it's pronounced Novel.
Novel. Hold on.
Novel. I believe. Looking at the pronunciation guide.
Hold on. Come on. Doesn't Google have one of these things?
I don't know. Fuck Google.
pronouncenames.com.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Neuville.
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 Whatever.
Oh, that's why, because it's super low.
Neuville.
Neuville.
Anyway.
I don't like French. Anyways, they're between
Fucking cheese eating surrender monkeys.
between German defenders and the 101st Airborne. Caparzo is killed by a German sniper. Miller and his men find a paratrooper named Ryan, but he's not the one for whom they are searching, and they are directed to a rally point where James Francis Ryan's unit should be. Miller learns that Ryan is defending a key bridge in the town of Rommel. En route, Miller decides against the judgment of his soldiers to neutralize a German machine gun nest, which results in Wade's death. A surviving German soldier is spared by the intervention of Upham, the detachment's interpreter, who is unused to the horrors of combat. Miller blindfolds the soldier, who has been nicknamed Steamboat Willie, and orders him to surrender to the next Allied patrol. When Ribian threatens to desert, Miller diffuses the situation by calmly telling a story that reveals his civilian background as a teacher and a baseball coach, of which he has not previously spoken, and which has been the subject of much speculation amongst his men and a pool of about $300.
So, Caparzo, anybody know who that is?
It's Vin fucking Diesel.
A young Vin Diesel.
So I read that Spielberg saw some indie movie he wrote, directed, performed in, and everything, and liked him so much, literally wrote this part for him.
I wonder if that was the first Pitch Black. I think it came out about the same time, and I don't think the first Pitch Black was.
I don't think that's
super huge, was it?
No, the first Pitch Black was pretty big. No, it's not.
I don't remember. I don't remember it being that big, but it's been a long time since I've seen it.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's not. It's not that.
Okay. So the scene where not Mellish, who's the sniper?
Mm-hmm. I can't remember his name. I know you're talking about.
When he shoots that round through the sniper scope. Jackson, that's right. When he shoots the round the sniper scope to the enemy sniper scope, you know where that came from?
I know it's a true story, but I don't know where.
So Carlos Hathcock supposedly did that in Vietnam, and you have to realize the implications there. For you to shoot a sniper through his scope means he was about to shoot you.
Yeah.
So that being said, really interesting thing. MythBusters has tried to recreate that shot.
Yeah.
That's they
busted.
They came up with the number, but that's like a 1 in a billion shot.
Oh, really?
Because of the way the magnification on one of the scopes works. There's several pieces of glass in there, and they're all curved. So this bullet had to strike it perfectly dead center of each one of these, so as not to deflect it up or to the sides and blow out the side of the scope.
I'm wondering if, depending on the size of bullet he's using, could you not, even if you're a little off, wouldn't have enough force to just push the glass, and maybe not the bullet kills him, but like just the glass, like into his eye.
So usually, I mean, you're probably going to get some shrapnel, but every time the MythBusters tried it, they wound up blowing out the side of the scope.
Really?
Like the round would enter through the front focal plane, the front glass, and it would always come out left, right, top, or bottom of the barrel of the tube of the scope about halfway to 2/3 of the way down. So it never would have made it to his eye.
Yeah.
or it never would have made it to the target's eye.
Okay. I will say that Caparzo getting killed was pretty rough, and like the thing is, I found a little out of character because he's been very much a good soldier, and I don't know if he just let emotion take over, but to like grab that kid and to just start walking away without listening to Captain Miller.
Well, he said he reminds him of his niece.
Yeah. I didn't catch that part. Which that was fair. I'm not gonna lie. That whole thing got me fairly emotional. Like, I get where the dad is coming from. The other thing, though, I'm worried, and I have to say, I wonder if you saw that he had a baby and he had a little boy too, but he only gave him the little girl, and I'm wondering if he was worried about German troops.
I think the plan was to take all of the kids.
Yeah.
And then Caparzo gets killed.
Yeah. And then when I do love when she goes back, she's crying and she's like hitting them and stuff.
I mean, do you blame her there?
No. But I mean, your kid wouldn't want to leave, and she'd be mad, and you're trying to do what you think is best for them. So
we talked about this. We talked about this earlier when they got to that where the airborne guys misjumped.
Yeah.
Well, we missed Paul Giamatti in the scene where Caparzo gets killed. He was in the movie.
Yeah, and Nathan Fillion was.
Well, that's where we're coming up to. The other James Ryan.
The wrong James Ryan.
The wrong James Ryan. That's a young Nathan Fillion.
I'm watching going, it's not him. He's not old. God, that looks just like him. That jawline is just so, there's and the captain in that little town that like when that wall collapses and all the Germans are on the other side and they're screaming back and forth.
Right.
The captain comes in above and shoots him. That's fucking Ted Danson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And going back in the war room where they're typing when they first realize all the Ryan boys are dead, the one guy who's only got the one arm in the office.
Right.
That's fucking oh my God.
I mean, this movie has an all-star cast. I mean, there's so many cameos, so many people that just pop in for 5 minutes and they're done.
Yeah.
That you don't realize who they are until I didn't realize who they were until I was older watching the movie for the third, fourth, fifth time.
What's it? Bryan Cranston is that guy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Go back and watch it again. And that's him in that in the office with one arm.
Dennis Farina was in here, Ted Danson, Harv Presnell, Bryan Cranston, David Wold, Nathan Fillion, Paul Giamatti, Ryan Hurst. Jesus, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. So I think one of the saddest deaths is which one? Wade.
Wade.
Yeah.
The medic.
The medic. And I realized for the first time, actually watching it this time, that he knew he was going to die. Like I think he was kind of okay, but he touched his stomach. He goes, "Oh my God, that's my liver." And I think that's when he kind of went, that was his realization that he's not going to survive.
He knew he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God, him calling for his mom and shit like that. It was just, God damn, that was emotional.
So this is a moral question for you. And I realize that war is outside of the, I guess, realm of morality.
Yeah.
You take an enemy position like that, and you got one enemy soldier that's left. None of your men are going to say shit if you shoot him. Keep in mind, it's a war crime because he has surrendered. But nobody's going to say shit. What do you do?
I don't know, man. That's a tough call because turning a POW is a lot of paperwork.
But at the same time,
you got an opinion on this, buddy?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to be considered. Like,
well, first Trey would have to catch his breath getting up the hill.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Here's the thing. Like,
Trey is an extra layer of armor for whoever's behind him.
That's true.
That's right. So here's the thing. How are your rations on this situation? Because if you capture him, that's one more mouth to feed.
And that's
Fair?
kind of irrelevant because there's rules of war and POWs are.
I understand that, but I mean, like this is like literally like. Are you saying kill him just to kill him? Probably not. But I mean, like if
No, you're killing him for
No,
justice.
like for revenge, and this is straight up revenge.
Yeah, for your guy that you just lost, and you don't even know if he's the actual one that actually shot him.
I mean,
Probably.
honestly, at that point, does it really matter?
Probably would just kill him at that point. Like if you're dealing with a loss and you're grieving, not thinking rationally. Yeah.
And at this point,
you could get by on the. You could get by with what is it, temporary insanity or whatever, if anybody were ever to find out about it, but nobody's going to find out about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, all these guys have killed a lot of people at this point, you know, and Miller
Right.
more than Miller and the sergeant more than the rest. So
It's
I don't
probably
think,
a bunch of them. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think this would weigh on their conscience, honestly. If anything, it'd probably make them feel better. But unfortunately, Upham is right. I would like to think I'd do the moral thing, but I you know, like Ryan said at the end of the movie, which started to jump ahead, those from what and having not been in the military, but you know, he said, I'm going to stay with the only brothers I've got left. And I feel like, you know, yeah, it's like losing a family member. So yeah, it'd probably make me feel better. Probably to shoot him.
I don't know that I wouldn't do it. Just being dead honest, I don't know that I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And you got to look at it this way. Look at what they did. You know, they released him, and they were absolutely right. He joined back in with the first German unit he came up to.
Yep.
So,
but I mean, okay, is that his fault? I mean, they told him to walk. We don't know if he went out and took a right back heading towards Germany looking for his guys, or if he took a left heading towards the coast looking for allies. I mean, he could have been walking in just a random German patrol could have picked him up.
let me put it to you this. Let me put it to you this way. I have never had someone that I've arrested, or that I was going to arrest, and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going to arrest you right now, but go turn yourself in like a good boy," and had them do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
How many people would have the opportunity after you arrest them, though?
Well, there have been a couple of times where, especially up in investigations, where you're dealing with somebody that has a misdemeanor warrant, but you're using them as part of an investigation on a felony crime, so you don't want to piss them off too bad. So you talk to them, you tell them, "Hey, look, you got a misdemeanor warrant. Just don't keep this hanging over your head. Get it taken care of. Call a bondsman. Do what you got to do. Get it taken care of." And I've never had someone go back and go, "You know what? I'm going to turn myself in today because that's the right thing to do."
That's fair. About Miller's backstory, him being the teacher and everything, like, so that could have all been a lie. You know that, right? Like no one knows for sure what he actually did before. So he could have made up some heartwarming backstory. That being said, if it were you, what would you say you did back home? It'd make it interesting.
Ooh, I don't know. I'd be a butcher.
A butcher. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a solid 1940s, job.
Like butcher shop, slaughtering pigs, cows, making my own steaks because I love meat.
Yeah, that's fair.
On sausage.
Trey, this obviously question is more geared for you. No offense, Tucker. And I'm terrified for this answer.
Heartwarming backstory?
It doesn't have to be heartwarming.
It doesn't have to be heartwarming. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, you get to invent your own backstory.
Ooh, yeah.
Male gigolo is not the right answer.
I would go farmer.
Really?
Yeah,
That's not what I was expecting.
yeah.
You know what? That's the only time in his life Trey can say he was a farmer. Is in a fake backstory.
No, that's not true because we used to grow pot and stuff way back when.
Jesus Christ.
But he wasn't smoking it. He was just selling it. All right.
Yeah,
I'm sure that makes it all better.
I honestly was expecting I'd be like the strip club mopper or something like that, like cleaning up all the.
Oh, it's jizz mopper.
Yeah, the jizz mopper.
I don't think they had jizz moppers in the 40s.
At the
Oh,
nudie
that, yeah, they did. They totally did.
You know, the very first motion picture was pornographic.
Of course it was. The very first one, though?
The very first one.
No, wait. When you say motion picture, are you talking about like the little Nickelodeons that people talk about where you have to put in a nickel and crank it? Or like you're talking like in a theater?
The very first motion picture
Ever
was-
made.
yes, for commercial release was pornography.
All right.
All right. Have you seen this original motion picture?
I'd seen a clip of it. Oh, speaking of which, I saw a clip of Chuck Berry's sex tape.
Ew.
Chuck Berry,
Like,
Johnny Good.
yeah, like the singer.
Yes.
He has a sex tape? Isn't he dead?
Oh yeah, and it is pretty awful. Like he was pissing on this prostitute.
What?
And yeah, and then one time he had her go to kiss his butthole, and he farts in her face.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
It's called Chuck Berry, Quite the Gentleman. If you ever just want to go out and find it,
Hold on. Let me go to
I'm gonna Google this.
incognito
Right now.
mode. What's it called?
Chuck Berry, Quite the Gentleman.
I feel like this is
Have
a
you
setup.
watched this whole thing?
I did because it's just clips. This is some. I don't know how they got it released, but when he was raided for a drug raid, they found the sex tape along with the narcotics, and I don't know how it made it to the internet.
Oh my God. Yep, he is not lying.
Let's see.
It's on Reddit.
Reddit, yeah.
Yep. I don't know why you think I make this shit up.
Wow.
Is there any sound? Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, there's sound.
Are you bathing?
Yes.
You gotta get clean.
So it's a girl in a tub,
you like
it says
to stay clean, don't you?
prostitute, and then he
Yeah.
steps in. Can y'all hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know why we're playing this on the podcast.
You know that? I'm gonna give you.
This is a bad idea.
No, I mean it's pretty great because he pisses on her, and then like she wants to kiss him. He says, "No, you smell like piss."
All right, let's see. According to the History Channel, the first commercial movie screen was on December 28th, 1895. The first commercial movie screening takes place at the Grand Cafe in Paris. The film was made by Louis and Auguste Lumiere, two French brothers who developed a camera projector called the cinematography. The Lumiere brothers unveiled their invention to the public in March of 1895 with a brief film showing workers leaving the Luminaire factory. On December 28th, the entrepreneurial siblings screened a series of short scenes from everyday French life and charged admission for the first time. So,
How does this have anything to do with Saving Private Ryan, which is what we're supposed to be talking about?
I don't know. Trey brought it up. Actually, I guess it kind of started with me because I was talking about being a. Oh, that would have been a good answer too. What's your backstory? Was it like a porn movie
A 1940s porn producer?
or operator, like showing the movies?
Okay, so the film was in 1896. It was called La Couche de la Marie.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because we're an entertaining podcast and we're giving out interesting facts.
Yeah, I mean we're dropping knowledge on people.
Yeah, all three people that are listening to this, you're welcome. Go study up on some fucking ancient French
Pornography.
cinematography and pornography.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, where did that go? What, Trey? What's that called again? Oh, that's not it.
What? Quite the Gentleman?
No. Hold on, I gotta find my. Oh, there it is. No, the other one, the French one.
Oh, let's see here. Ow, god damn it, Huck. I'll have to look it back up. It's like La Couche de la Marie.
All right.
La Couche de la Marie.
There's an R in
Yeah.
couche, by the way.
Yep, it's French.
Yep, it is. Interesting. All right, there you go. Something to look up later on.
Mhm.
You got anything to add to the actual movie? Like, you remember this part when they go up and take the nest?
Oh yeah, it's a great part.
This is one of those
Thank
like
you for the
insightful.
insights there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Very,
Though.
very insightful.
It's interesting though because I guess so. We're seeing this movie kind of from Opham's perspective because we're not war-hardened veterans, and it's interesting that like for this particular battle, for whatever reason, they decided not to show kind of that firsthand account of it. You stayed back with Opham until it was over. You know,
Can we just talk about the fact that Upham is a pussy?
I mean, he's a translator. He's never seen combat. He's doing his
He
job.
is a pussy.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I mean, that'd be scary as fuck. I mean, it's literally people trying to kill you.
No, I get that, but if your choices are get in the fight or get killed, which one are you doing?
Well, if that's my choices, you got to get in the fight. But I mean, yeah, seven
were
other, seven
Well,
other.
his choices.
Here's the thing. They made that movie about that pussy Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
What is he? A conscientious objector.
Objector, yeah. Which just means he's a pussy. He didn't want to fight.
But he did serve, so I mean,
Yeah.
and saved a whole bunch of
But
lives.
do you really serve if you're in the war and you don't shoot a gun?
There are a lot of people. I mean, you could ask the same about General Marshall. I mean, he didn't shoot a gun, but or at least not in this war.
He was lead man. Stop, buddy. Gus, over here. Sorry, Huck's trying to hit the dog with a bat.
It's all good. Plus, they didn't get him. They didn't get Upham for his combat ability. They got him because he speaks German and French. That's the only reason they got him. They knew that he would be a war liability, or that he would be a liability, but they had to have him. So, all right, here we go. Upon arriving in Ramal, Miller's detachment makes contact with Ryan and informs him of his brother's deaths. Although deeply upset, Ryan refuses to abandon his post defending the town's bridge, and the town soon comes under siege by the attacking Germans. Miller assumes command as the only officer present. He and his unit fight alongside the 101st, but the German armor advantage takes a toll on the Americans. Jackson, Mellish, and Hovarth are killed along with most of the paratroopers as the Americans retreat across the town's bridge. During the final assault on the bridge, Steamboat Willie reappears and shoots Miller as he attempts to blow the bridge with pre-placed explosives. But before the German force can capture it, a P-51 Mustang, American P-51 Mustang fighter planes and Sherman tanks arrive and halt their advance. Upham confronts Steamboat Willie, who attempts to talk Upham into letting him go again. Upham instead shoots and kills him. The mortally wounded Miller tells Ryan to earn this before dying, referring to the sacrifices the others have made so that Ryan could have a post-war life. Returning to the present, Ryan is revealed to be the elderly veteran at the grave, and the grave to be Miller's. Ryan expresses gratitude for the sacrifices made by Miller and his men, and he says he hopes he earned it, and salutes the grave.
That's interesting. He didn't put a quarter on the tombstone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's of all the details in this movie that are historically, accurate. That's kind of a funny one that you wouldn't show.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be honest with you. Like I know about that, but I would imagine that's not something that maybe a lot of people know about that.
I didn't know about that until it's been the last 5 or 6 years that I've learned that.
See, here's the thing though. I knew about that. I actually don't know why they do that though.
Well, each coin represents like a different thing, whether you went through basic or you served or he died in battle or whatever.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. The denomination of the coin represents different things.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. There you go. So,
Once again, thank you for joining my TED Talk.
dropping bombs.
so
Unlike the
so
Germans.
in the
Or much
city
like
of
the Germans.
Ramel, in the city of Ramel before the final battle, that scene where Matt Damon and Tom Hanks are all sitting there, or they're both sitting there and they're telling stories,
Yeah.
and he tells a story about Alice Jardine.
Yeah.
If you watch the movie carefully, when he starts talking, you see this look of I don't know where this is going on Tom Hanks' face, and Tom Hanks is an amazing actor.
Right.
But
That's
the
legit.
director told Matt Damon and didn't tell Tom Hanks, tell a story, make a story up, make it sound good. He made that story up on the spot, and Tom Hanks had no idea that it was going to happen.
I was gonna say I thought it was now I know like I guess I'm thinking about Good Will Hunting because that story about Robin Williams' wife farting in bed, which is a true story, which is what makes Matt Damon laugh so hard. But I thought it was it not rooted in some truth of some kind, like he has a brother that. Okay, maybe I was wrong.
He made that up. He made that up on the spot, on the fly.
and it
while
felt
he's
like
talking to Tom Hanks.
and it felt like genuine laughter. Like that was really, excellent acting.
They're both Tom Hanks and Matt Damon are both amazing actors in this. But something else, and you may have this in your trivia, and if you do, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons why it felt like a lot of the guys genuinely hated Matt Damon in this movie.
Yes, I know where you're going with this. It's not in my trivia.
It's not in your trivia.
No.
Was because he got special treatment.
Yeah.
Well,
But they did that on purpose.
went through.
Oh yeah,
They
they did.
did.
It was 100% on purpose. They went through boot camp, and Matt Damon did not have to go through boot camp.
Yeah, Matt Damon didn't have to do shit.
He just showed up.
So a lot of that animosity was
Real.
earned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like it was specifically done by the director to create that animosity, so they resented him and created like this parallel storyline.
So when they tried
No,
that one dude when he tried to put the sticky bomb on the tank and it just he just turns into red goo.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hate that happened, but that was rough. That was one hell of a practical effect. And that's the thing we have to remember about this movie is that there's some CGI.
It's 25 years old.
This is it's all real, you know? Like,
so one thing I didn't notice until today, the sniper, God damn it, Jackson. He's a lefty.
Yeah. Because I
didn't catch that until today because he's working a right-handed bolt.
Yep.
Here's my thing. At the end of the movie, when he's up in the bell tower and he sees that tank start to
turn at him,
raise the barrel and turn towards him, he yells, "Get down," instead of hauling ass and horse collaring your buddy on the way out the door.
Yeah, trying to like jump down the steps.
He could have survived it.
He probably,
or at least, he probably would have been fucked up, but I think he could have survived it. Where did Trey go?
Maybe his phone died again. Damn it. Oh well. He'll jump back in if he can. I thought it was pretty epic to kill Miller with Steamboat Willie. Like that is such a fucking turn, you know? Because he sees him. He sees him. He knows who he is.
And he pulls the trigger.
Yeah. And like
knowing that this guy spared his life.
Yeah. And Upham, like you already knew it. Like that change in Upham's face, you knew like I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. Like out of everything, like that the bit when the Jewish guy that gets killed in hand-to-hand combat with the knife.
Yeah.
Like that one. I remember watching that as a kid, and that one really tore me up. And then for that guy to just walk out by him,
but that was
not even
World War
assess
II.
him, not even assess him as a threat. And
that was World War II, though.
Well, yeah, but it's just like, dude, he had a loaded gun. He's got, all this ammo around his neck, and this guy just walks by him because he knows he's not a threat. He knows he's not going to do anything because he just killed his guy 5 feet from him, 2 of his guys, and he sat there and did nothing.
Yep.
So no, I wouldn't have called Upham a coward because he was there to interpret, not to fight.
Oh, I totally would.
No,
he was He was a pussy the whole movie.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I still wouldn't necessarily call him. That right there pushes it into coward territory because, like, I don't care how scared you are. Like, you hear your guy, like, struggling for his life, and you've got a gun.
And he could have. Well, he could have run up there, even if he didn't kill the guy. He could have whacked him in the head with that rifle and just let Mellish kill him.
Knock him in the back of the head. I mean, there are just so many options that and the fact that he didn't do anything, listen to his friend die.
It was pure cowardice.
It was. I completely agree with that. And in that instance,
he redeemed himself slightly at the end.
Yes.
By killing Steamboat Willie, but that's not enough to make up for his cowardice throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Because look, I've never been in that situation, obviously, but doing search warrants, doing raids, going to arrest violent felons, I've been first in the door several times on search warrants. You don't know what's on the other side of that. You hit that door, you fucking go. Yeah. You clear your sector and count on the guy coming in behind you to clear his. That's what you do.
I do find it also, I don't know if it's ironic, but the only guy from their unit to survive is Upham, I guess, and the private.
And
that wanted
Private
to
Ryben.
Yeah, that wanted to desert. Which sucks. I mean, man, fucking the sergeant, what's his name?
That was Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore, man. He
Horvath.
Yeah, he got a couple of shots. Like, he got shot like 3 or 4 times before he went down.
He was also high on coke this entire film.
No, he wasn't. He was sober.
Oh, bullshit.
From what actually, that was one of the trivia that I did not put in here, but Steven Spielberg said you have to be sober to do this, and we're going to test you every single day, and if we find anything in your blood, we'll reshoot everything that you've done with another actor. I don't care how close we are to ending it. Is he still alive?
He is. He is 60, looks 80.
That sounds about right. Let's see.
I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I get it. He was still high as fuck during this movie. He was getting fake urine and getting somebody else to pee in a cup for him.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Very possible. Man, I don't really know. It's such a, like, you think it's gonna not end well, and I mean, it doesn't end great, but at least I mean, what are your thoughts on the sitting 8 guys to rescue one guy?
You know, it is the right thing to do. He's the last surviving son.
Yeah. But what if those
rescue mission?
What if those guys are the only son, their only son?
I mean, it's still the right thing. It's still the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It may not be the smartest. It may not be the most practical. Yeah. It's still the right thing to do.
It's fair. I mean, I don't
from what I've read about military history, rescue missions typically don't go the best in the world.
Yeah.
You're risking 10 men to save one, and that's exactly what happened here. This company went out with 8 guys, came back with 6.
They came back with 1, 2.
You had, Upham survived, and Ryben survived.
Yeah.
And they picked up Ryan. You don't count Ryan because he was the mission.
Well, yeah, no. So they came back with 2.
The captain, the sergeant, Wade, Caparzo, Mellish, Jackson. Yeah, 6 guys died to save 1.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a lot. All right, well, let's keep on moving. I got top 5 trivia, and then we'll do our triple Lindy and go from there. It hurt. God, dadgummit. You know, it helps if I turn the sound on. Did you know that?
It would.
Yeah. So let it play. All right, here you go. All right, top 5 takeaways. It's not really takeaways, by the way. Top 5 trivia. I'm not stealing that from content. Top 5. Number 1, the plot was loosely based loosely inspired on the true story of the Nyland brothers. Screenwriter Robert Rodat was initially inspired to write Saving Private Ryan when he saw a monument for the four sons of Agnes Allison, who were all killed in the American Civil War. However, when the premise got into the hands of producer Mark Gordon and eventually director Steven Spielberg, inspiration came from the true story of the Nyland brothers. I already said that. They were four brothers. They were four brothers fighting in World War II. That's weird. They changed from okay. So Agnes Allison to the story of the Nyland brothers. Okay, sorry. They were four brothers fighting in World War II. Two of them died and two survived. However, it was initially thought that only one survived, as the other one was missing and presumed dead. He turned out to be a POW in a Japanese internment camp. Yeesh.
Jesus.
Yeah. Number 2, Steven Spielberg would have released the movie with an NC-17 rating. While he was making Saving Private Ryan, Spielberg feared that the movie's brutal violence would lead to the MPAA to assign an NC-17 rating. Hollywood studios usually strive to avoid NC-17 ratings like the plague and to make whatever cuts are necessary to change the rating because they're box office poison. Some theaters won't show them, and the ones that will show them can only admit audience members over a certain age. But Spielberg was so happy with Saving Private Ryan that if it had come back from the MPAA with an NC-17, he still would have released it. That's hardcore. And I'm kind of with him. I'm surprised to hear that because I would have thought it would have been like, well, it's pretty damn bloody.
Well, but there was no nudity. There was not a lot of foul language in. I mean, there was a little bit.
It was just violence and gore.
But it was just violence and gore, yeah. But it wasn't gratuitous.
It was realistic.
It was realistic. It was very realistic.
Yeah, I meant to say this earlier when they were storming the beach and they're trying to get the bangers or whatever, and he's talking to the radio guy and he pulls him over and his face is gone.
Yep.
Crazy. God bless. And it's just like their ability to just kind of go, oh shit, and just got to keep moving, you know?
But that's what you mean in those situations. That is what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. Okay, the gunfire sounds are authentic. To acquire the right sound effects for the guns used in the movie, Saving Private Ryan's sound team went to a live machine gun firing range near Atlanta that was owned by a weapons manufacturer. They sourced all the period-specific weaponry that was being used in the movie that they needed to find sound for, and they just started firing them at the shooting range. So, very accurate.
I love how they were using. I mean, those. I think those were M1s, weren't they?
M1 Garand, yeah.
M1 Garands, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 30-06.
Yep.
That's a hell of a cartridge.
Yeah, it is. Man, those I would. The guy that we know that lives in Georgia that we don't talk to anymore, he's got one.
Yeah.
He's got one.
I've got an M1A.
I know you showed it to me. Remember?
Yeah.
I've never gotten to shoot an M1 Garand. I want to shoot one really bad. And Tom Hanks's character had a Tommy gun, 45.
Yep. Cool thing about that gun is it shoots from an open bolt. You know that?
No. What is that? I don't know.
Yep.
Explain it to me.
So, like with your AR, when you put a magazine in, you chamber around, the bolt's closed, right?
Yeah.
Well, with the Tommy gun, the bolt doesn't close until you pull the trigger, and then it slams the bolt closed. It's cool. It shoots from an open bolt.
Huh. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Saving Private Ryan is the last non-digitally edited Best Film Editing winner. That's a lot to say. Pretty much every movie in the last 20 years have been digitally edited because digital editing, while losing some of the soul of the filmmaking process, is a lot cheaper, easier, and more secure than the old cutting room floor method. Saving Private Ryan was the last movie to be edited using non-digital technology to win an Academy Award for Best Film Editing. Every subsequent winner of the Oscar for editing has been edited digitally. And digital isn't blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's just saying that Saving Private Ryan will hold on to this distinction probably indefinitely. And number 5, the D-Day landing sequence at the very beginning cost $11 million.
I believe it.
That's then. I didn't check how much it is. Saving Private Ryan's opening D-Day landing took up a hefty chunk of the film's $70 million budget, costing $11 million to pull off. Steven Spielberg decided and chose not to storyboard the sequence at all, instead letting the action tell him where to point the camera. He elected to use a handheld camera for the scene. On the days of shooting, the producers recruited 40 barrels of fake blood and more than 1,000 extras for the scene. Between 20 and 30 of these extras were amputees who could be fitted with prosthetic limbs for the sole purpose of being blown off in explosions.
Jesus. That's a little exploitative, but
I mean, hey, if it works.
I mean, like I said, it seems a little exploitative.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Triple Lindy's. This is going to be a hard one.
The Triple Lindy. Triple Lindy.
Is that hard?
It's impossible.
All right.
So here's the thing. I know we always do a triple Lindy, and it's the most unbelievable part of this movie. Man, from everything I read, I can't give it one. This movie, from all accounts that I've read about it, it's incredibly realistic and accurate.
Mm-hmm.
There's not something that qualifies for triple Lindy in this.
I'll accept it, man. I do have one, and it's something I literally noticed for the first time watching this movie today. At the very end, and this is very nitpicky, but I'm gonna use it anyways. At the very end, after they've blown the tread off of that Panzer, and all the guys are on it, I don't know what they're doing. They're just checking it out or whatever. The Germans bring a 20 cal or 20 millimeter,
20 millimeter
around the corner, and they start shooting at the guys, right? And so they all like scatter, right? I just happened to notice there's one guy sitting on top of the thing, and he's literally he's very obviously a mannequin, because everyone moves but him, and then he explodes into blood and guts. And that is the only thing that I noticed that I would even consider being something that's unbelievable. There you go.
I mean, that's more of a film technique. I mean, it's yours. I'll give it to you. It's yours.
I mean, I truthfully, I had nothing. I had no idea what I was going to pick, because it's like, how do you, like you said, this is regarded as one of the most historically accurate movies ever made. How do you find something wrong with it? Like, what takes you out? Because this is one of the few movies I know that I'm going to not necessarily cry like boohoo, but I'm going to tear up watching this movie.
It's powerful.
It's incredibly made. So, ratings and reviews. I'll let you go first, even though it's my movie.
All right. Much like Ghostbusters, this is very simply a half a beer movie.
Yeah.
It is damn near perfect. It is powerful. It is moving. The cast has great chemistry. I mean, just seeing the way Tom Hanks tells his story in that little church about the guy that had gotten killed, Vecchio.
Yeah.
Which we never even touch on that when we're talking about it, but he makes it so believable, and the little tics that he has, like his hands shaking. I mean, that's I don't want to say PTSD, but
no, I actually Googled that today because it happens every time right before he goes into battle.
Right. It's a tick that he has.
But here's the thing. I'll say this: at the end, when he's shot and he's dying, and he pulls out his sidearm and he aims it at the tank and he starts shooting, you notice that he does it with his right hand that's usually shaking, and it's not shaking.
It's because he knows he's dying.
I guess he has some relief.
I guess.
I'm wondering if he has some relief or solace in the fact that this is where my story ends.
I don't know, but I mean, it's so incredibly made. It's so incredibly shot. Steven Spielberg is a master. I really can't think of a bad movie that I've ever seen of his.
Yeah.
But I mean, this movie is half a beer.
This movie could have come out 25 years ago, or it could have come out, 2.5 years ago, and it looks incredible. It is a timeless movie, and I agree with you. I think it's going to be half a beer for me as well, because it just. I wonder if a film like this would be made today in the way that the country is, and how Hollywood is towards, because this was a very pro-American.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but with Hollywood in the way that it is today, I just don't know if this film would be made, or would be made. It wouldn't be made like this. It wouldn't look like this. It would be altered.
but so I'm gonna say this, and I try. I don't think my political beliefs are too well hidden or disguised, but I really do try to not talk politics on the podcast because I don't want to piss anybody off, any potential listeners off, because we're supposed to be more comedy or leisure entertainment.
Yeah.
We're not political commentators. That being said, there's a quote that I've always heard that has stuck with me, and it is, hard men create good times create soft men create hard times, and it's a cyclical thing. And I know where I think we stand right now, and it's most definitely not good times.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. Top five. I bring this up because I'm actually going to add this to my top five. This is one of my all-time favorite movies, and it's sad that I hadn't seen it in so long, but you're gonna kill me for this. Trey and Chris will love it. I'm dropping T2 off of number 2. I'm taking T2 off the list, and this is replacing T2.
All right. Tell me what my top five are.
All right, hold on a second. All right, your top five. Number 1 is T2. Number 2 is Tombstone. Number 3 is My Cousin Vinny. Number 4 is Ghostbusters, and number 5 is Scream.
So here's the thing. My top 5 should really be a top 4 because Terminator 2 is never coming off there because fuck Chris and Trey. But that being said, I will drop Tombstone and put this in the number 2 spot.
Wow.
Even though I love the Tombstone movie. Actually, no, let's move everything down. Scream drops off at the bottom. Tombstone stays in at number 3, and Saving Private Ryan goes in at number 2.
All right. And I'll finish.
But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, T2 will never come off of the number 1 spot because fuck both of them.
That's fair. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I mean, this far into it, sometimes things have to change, and yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, and honestly, I probably would have changed it by now, but this is simply out of spite.
No, that's fair. That's fair. What episode are we at? We're almost to 100.
We might be at 100. Hold on.
I don't think we're quite there yet.
I'm looking.
Oh man, this is great. This is great podcasting.
96. This is our 96th episode.
This is 96. Okay.
This is 96.
So at the end of November, we'll be 100.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, cool.
We are so well prepared. It's so fucking awesome.
I know, right? Man, I've been so fucking busy and like traveling, and I'm sick this weekend. So, next week, don't know what we're doing yet. That will be Chris's pick. So we'll get with him, and hopefully his daughter's birthday went well, and hopefully my kid had a good time there. You can find us on the web at theguysreview.simplecast.com. Email us at theguysreviewpod@gmail.com, and I will read it poorly. Damn it, Marcus didn't email us this week. Instagram at theguysreviewpod, Twitter at @the_guysreviewed, and join our Twitter DM group by liking the tweet at the top of the page. Big shout out to oh my god, Jeff for carrying the Twitter DM group this week. I was busy for much of this week, so I was not active in pretty much anything. We're constantly doing stuff. What?
Jeff can come down here anytime. I'll teach him how to smoke a Boston Bud or make cowboy queso or brisket or whatever.
I just hope he comes.
You're welcome anytime, buddy.
I wish you would come and teach him how to do it, so he can actually have some quality meat sometime. I'm tired of putting Tucker's non-quality meat in my mouth.
Everyone loves putting my meat in their mouth.
Facebook.com/theguysreviewpod. Please subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcast from, especially on Apple Podcasts. That'd be really awesome.
Helps us out with the ratings.
With people finding us.
Helping people finding us, yeah. Moves us further up the recommended chart.
Would be nice. I doubt we're recommended at this point.
Oh, no, we're terrible.
You got anything else to add, buddy?
I do not. Y'all have a good week.
All right. Well, on behalf of Trey, Tucker, I am Steven, and this has been another episode of The Guys Review. We'll see you next week.